guys. Well, what was supposed to be just a nice chilled out collaging, like music, paper, napkin collaging session last night turned out to be a full-on project, as you will have seen in the last video. Oh my gosh. So this is like the reveal this morning. I know you've seen in the other video how it turned out, but I put it under here. I sandwiched it between two pieces of music paper and then put it underneath the stack of music paper that I have, just to keep it flat more than anything, but also to allow it to dry properly. The desk and everything is still a complete bomb site from last night. So you are getting the reveal as to how it's dried and turned out. The same as me. I haven't had a sneak peek or anything. I need to clean my desk. It's got gesso and all sorts on it. Wow. I love it. Oh my gosh, it's turned out amazing. That's actually quite shiny. Yeah, it is showing up. That's actually quite shiny. But so cool. My heart sank last night when I realised, when I was doing this side, and I realised when I turned it over I'd got gesso on this side. I'm like, no, couldn't believe it. But yeah, so rectified that a little bit. Well, didn't rectify it, but kind of made it look more deliberate by sticking some more gesso on it and then going over it. But oh, it feels amazing. It's still nice and flexible. It's not stiff. By going over it with the nail file, emery board nail file, it's nice and smooth. There's no, I mean, there are a couple of rough bits, but it's not rough. It's nice and smooth. It's amazing. This side feels gorgeous, and it feels like leather. You know, like faux leather type. It's nice and flexible. It's not cracking or anything like that. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. The one thing that I did struggle with last night after I'd done this was I couldn't decide which were the front and back page. I think I had it that way. There were more kind of butterflies over this side, so it were that way. But yeah, I love it. I really love it. This is now, the whole intentions were to do the music paper collage and then put the napkin over it, and then I was going to cut it up into tags and journal cards and like the book page collage snippet roll things that we all do, that Carol Laws showed us how to do. But then as it progressed and it went on and I added more and more layers and it started to come along a bit more, I thought, do you know what, I'm not putting all this time and effort into it to cut it up and make a tag out of it, so I'm actually going to use it as a journal cover. And I used the straw paper from Rachel at Roxy Creations as the base, and it's bigger, just bigger than an A4 sheet of paper, as you can see. I think I showed this in last night's video anyway. Yeah, it's actually just bigger than an A4 sheet of paper, which is perfect to make this a journal cover, because then all I need to do with this is fold it in half. I'm going to round the corners. Is just fold that in half, and then all I need to do after that is fold my papers in half, A4 papers in half, printed papers in half, and they'll go straight in with room to spare. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I've played around this morning and I've browsed through some of my papers and things, and I'm going to use the kit that I already printed ages ago from Kerr over at Happiness in Crafting. I printed these. These were mainly a test print. If you guys remember, I printed these on the coloured, like vintaged aged paper that I got from Amazon, the 2 different types. Yeah, and I'm going to use these. So, because I think they tie in quite well with it. Even though these have got birds on and it's predominantly butterfly themed, I think they'll match really well. So I'm going to use them. So I've got the full kit printed out here. There is a butterfly in it. I've got the full kit printed out here. On that paper, so I don't need to do anything to the back of that. I will add in some plain tea dyed paper. Then I've got all the ephemera that goes with it too, already printed again on the back of that paper, but then I have the same ephemera shrunk down, printed 2 to a page instead of 1 to a page on normal white cardstock. So we shall incorporate those as well, hopefully. If not, I've got some nice ephemera left over. But yeah, I think that will work really nice with this. It'll definitely tie in inside anyway. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this into a journal using this kit and some tea dyed papers. So before I do anything else, as you can see, I need to clean up. Because, make you a little seasick now, guys. Do it slowly. Because this is the crafting chaos from last night. So that's the spare sheet I had, and those are the 2 pages I sandwiched it between. That's the piece of paper I used to clean yeah, the drop sheet. That's the piece of paper I did fold in half to put in the journal. The bag that I put the scraps in. But yeah, so my desk is a little bit of a mess. Well, a little bit of a lot of a mess. So I shall clean this up and then I shall come back and we shall work on this journal together. So stay tuned, guys. Hi guys, back again. Okay, I've just cleaned my mat, and I've had a few people ask about this, so again I will tell you, this is nothing special or out of the ordinary or expensive. It is just a bog standard glass kitchen chopping board. As you can see, it is ridged. It's tempered glass, so it's very strong. It's heat proof, hence the reason I was just using the heat gun on it yesterday. Well, not on the mat, but had my project on the mat using the heat gun with just a bit of not greaseproof paper, baking paper underneath it. Not that it makes any difference to what brand you used, but I used Bako foil, non-stick baking paper, just to put underneath my project. The brown paper I was using, that's all it is. Well, it's Bako foil's not cheap, but just cheap paper. I do have some, not in here, I must have used it all. I do have some normal, just box standard grease proof baking paper, which is this white one. But yeah, like I said, it is just a bog standard kitchen glass cutting board, chopping board, and it cleans up absolutely brilliantly, as you can see. All I've done is just taken it into the kitchen, and you see how manky it were with gesso on, and it had, I don't know if you could pick that up in the camera, but it had glue on it and all sorts. And it's not Mod Podge, but equivalent, because what I use is just bog standard PVA school glue and water. It had that on it as well, but it also had art glitter glue and Fabri-Tac on it. Sorry, Beacon 3-in-1, same thing pretty much. It also had that on it as well from previous projects. This is just normal PVA glue, not watered down. It is this stuff, Craft and Create stuff that I get from B&M Bargains. That's in my other Sweet Sugar Bell bottle, but not watered down. I still have art glitter glue left in this one, but not much. So when that's finished, I will be using the PVA, because I have been testing it on various things and it's working just as well as the art glitter glue. Just takes a tad bit longer to dry. But I have tons and tons of that glue. That's just one bottle and I have about 5 more, so I'll be using them before I get any more art glitter glue. Also, because we are now in October, and around this time of year when the temperatures start to drop, Amazon does not deliver art glitter glue or Fabri-Tac, depending how, what the temperatures are of the places that it's being sent to you from, and depending what the temperatures are in your area. Amazon doesn't deliver, because it gets up to a certain temperature, or below a certain temperature, should I say, sorry, it starts to freeze, so they won't deliver it. Also, equally during the summertime and the hot summer months and warmer weather time, they won't deliver over a certain temperature either, because it's flammable. So obviously, if it gets too hot in transit, it explodes. But yeah, so like I said, this is brilliant. I didn't use anything on this other than hot water. I run the hot water tap in the sink, and all I used was bog standard cleaning stuff. We have this, which is just non-toxic surface cleaner, cuts through grease and grime. But we also use a version of this that has bleach in it. That one doesn't. But we do also sometimes use a version of that has bleach in it. And with or without the bleach, this still comes up absolutely perfect every time. I mean, look at it. And it was proper grimy and everything. So, yeah, that's all I do, guys. I've had a few people asking, where did I get this craft mat from, and how do I manage to keep it so clean? We're getting different things on it. And there's your answer, guys. Just a kitchen chopping board. And some grease and grime kitchen spray, basically. Obviously some elbow grease with the sponge. And we use the typical washing up sponges with the sponge on one side and like the Brillo, the scrubby bit, like Brillo pad style on the other side. Just give it a really good scrub, guys. And this comes up bob on every time. I've never had something on this. I've never had anything on this that I couldn't get out with a lot of, most of the time it's effortless, just a bit of scrubbing. Sometimes I have to get my nail in because of the grooves. There are probably 1 or 2 little bits where there might be a bit of glue left on it. I'm not sure, I think I managed to get it all off today, but sometimes I get the odd bit left on that I might have to just get my nail in and give it a bit of a scrub to get it out. But the rest of the time, just like I said, I don't even use hot soapy water or anything. I just run it under the hot water tap, spray it with this first and give it a good scrub with the sponge, and then run it under the hot water tap, and then just get in there and give it a scrub. But I've never had anything on this stains wise or anything like that. Glue, paint, matte gel, even the modelling paste. I've never had anything on this that I couldn't get out with a really good scrub under the hot water tap, and using something like kitchen spray that help, something that's got grease and grime in it, or something that's got bleach in it. But yeah, so there you go, guys. I just thought I'd pop on and let you know that, because I know a few of you have been asking. And yes, I do use the cutting mats underneath, but I only really use them when I'm cutting. But to be fair, honestly, I do use them, but not very often, because them ones are just what I'd say for fancy. They're for sure, because of the colour scheme, and I've got a piece of vellum under there with my logo on. They are what I'd say are for sure. Also, this blue one fits under this mat because this mat's got feet on, and the blue one fits under that on top of the pink one perfectly. It just slides underneath. I line it up with the squares, but also this blue one is my guide to where I need to be when I'm filming, to be on camera, especially when I am slightly zoomed in. But like I said, I do use them, but not very often because I have spares. I have different coloured spares. The A5 ones, they came from Aldi. They weren't expensive. Actually, the A5 ones comes in a pack of 2, and I think it's something like $1 or $2.99 or something like that. The big one I got from Aldi ages ago as well. That was on its own, and they've never had big ones like this in again since when I've wanted them, when they do the craft time. But they always at craft weeks, but they always have the A4 ones. And when they do, I grab them. I've got all sorts of different coloured ones, a yellow one, pink ones. And I use them when I'm cutting or making a big mess. I use them because, you know, you get glue and stuff on these and it eats through the mat. So, there you go. Like I said, yes, I do use them. Not very often though, because I will use the other ones instead, because these are just like my background. But there you go. That settles that. Now back onto the crafting. Hi guys. I'm back. Apart from tidying up and everything and what have you, Five Man came home, so I couldn't film. Well, I could, but I couldn't speak. So I've just done a different project in the meanwhile he was here, and now he's popped back out again. So, yay! I'm back. Okay, so right, we're all nice and clean and tidy. And like I said before, there's the kit. There's the cover. Oh, I love it. And I have also found a book page from a botanical book that I have. It's a book about birds. It actually says watching wildlife. And this one relates to birds and reptiles there as well, but yeah. Where does it say? There. That's all about birds and bird song and what have you, so I'm actually going to rip that in half. Use that as 2 separate pages. And then because I used music paper to do the cover as the collage in the background, I'm going to put some music paper in here. There actually is no music in this kit at all. There's birds and book text. Well, actually there is. There's a little bit there. I forgot about that. There are butterflies in it, so that's not too bad. But mainly birds. And then we're on to the ephemera. Mainly birds. So we will incorporate the birds and bring in some music in the form of music sheets. And I'm going to use this because if I fold that in half, the music's going the wrong way, and it doesn't usually bug me, but sometimes it does. And there is 2 large sheets there that are going to need cutting down, which doesn't bother me in the slightest, but I will tear them with my ruler. I love this stuff, it tears so easily. Wrong one, not big enough. Oh well, actually yeah, it would be after doing these bits. So let's just get rid of these pieces. So this video is, I'm going to do these as like a series, and this video is going to be done in sections, and this is just going to be the signatures side of things, sorting the signatures out. Going to be the right size. I also don't really have a plan for this, guys. I'm kind of just winging it because, as I said, this was originally just going to be some cut up ephemera, But then I changed my mind as I was going along, because I figured, like I said earlier on, I put too much time and effort into it to tear it up and use it as ephemera. So, and also I do have ephemera from doing those kind of things before, and I tend not to use it very often, which kind of defeats the object of making it, but I have a really bad habit of making it and not using it. So I figured, obviously, a journal cover would get used. Oh yes, perfect size. I'm not bothered if it's the same size as the signatures once they are folded in half. I just want it to fit in the journal cover. I am actually going to sew around the journal cover as well, but I might do that off camera. I don't know, we'll see. I wish, I really, really wish, my sewing machine is there. You can't see, sorry. I'll just take you out a second. Right, my sewing machine is there. Literally there, right by me. There. There's a few bits and bats on the desk there, but that is where the sewing machine is. That is, it gets moved forward when I'm using it, and then it gets pushed back when I'm not using it. But I can't just say, oh, I'll grab the sewing machine and bring it over here to use it, like Gayle does, and other people, or just have it off to the side of me and use it. I could, because it's there, but I can't, because I am about 2 foot off the floor on a bar stool. It's a PC chair, but it's like a bar stool chair, because when we built this desk, Third Man warned me, and I'm like, no, it's fine. When I gave him the measurements, like, that's too high. I'm like, no, it's not, it's fine. Don't forget I stand up mainly, which I normally do. Don't forget I do a lot of standing up when I craft, and I need it this high. For when I'm stood up, I need it to be there. And guess what, guys? When I'm sat down on the chair, it's too high. So for me to be able to use the sewing machine, I need to be lower down, because my feet don't reach the floor. When I'm sat up here to film, my feet don't reach the floor. I'm only a shorty. Yeah, so like I said, I gave Third Man the measurements for this desk based on me standing at it, not sitting at it. So when I'm sat at it, my feet don't reach the pedals, don't reach the floor, therefore I can't reach the pedal. When I'm sat here at this angle, I could bring the sewing machine in, but I wouldn't be able to use the foot pedal for the sewing machine because I can't reach it. So I have to turn off and move over there. I stand up to use the sewing machine. Mind you, I suppose I could bring it over and just stand here, but I might, as if I'm going to do that, I've got to set the pedal up and everything, because the socket for it's over there anyway. I might as well just switch off and move you over, or just quickly turn off and do it and come back. So why is that smaller? Okay. Oh, okay. I must have gone on the other side on that one, on the smaller print instead of the bigger print. I did. Never mind. Well, I could still make it smaller. No, I'm not bothered. No, yeah, it still fits fine. In that case then, let's have... let's have it that way. I never know. Oh, no, look at the treble clefs. I would say I never know which way to put these. Look at the treble clef. Okay. Okay. Right, these are just going to get folded in half. These are going to look so odd because they're not, they're just really stark white. I may just go over them with some vintage, ouch, with some vintage photo. I really need to stop doing that. That's about birds. I'm not going to go that way because that says reptiles. Whereas that says bird song. And that's about birds as well. Awesome. I might cover them inside pieces up. We'll see. Okay, so that's them. I know this is the boring job for you, the boring part for you guys, because you're just watching me fold paper. Now these I've toyed with the idea because they're printed slightly smaller. Well, I didn't print them full page, so I've toyed with the idea of trimming them. But I'm not going to. I'm actually going to leave them full size because I'm going to put lace on this edge. So you're not going to see that anyway. And I actually don't mind that there. It's like a border, so I don't mind that there. Yeah, so, and then obviously we don't do anything on the inside. So these are just going to get folded in half. We'll sort them out with the other paper later. Oh, so pretty. I might make that the front inside cover, like the front of the signature cover. Because then when you open this up, you've got music and a butterfly. So it kind of ties it all together. Or maybe I should make that the middle page. Turn it that way. And make it the middle page of the signature. That might be a better idea. I don't know, I quite like it being the front one. No, I like it more as the front one. Decisions. Oh, we'll make that one the front, the inside one. Right, move them over there because that's ephemera. I need to keep my eye on the time as well because Taylor will be home soon. Yeah, I'm going to make that the inside cover, so I'll fold that way. So we have music and a butterfly there, which ties in with the front cover, and then on the inside we don't have music, but we have a beautiful big butterfly. I like that. I'm not going to fold this until I've sewn around it. I'm not going to round the corners either. Or am I? I don't even know if I should round the corners or put book corners on. Let's see. Wait. Oh, I like that. What do we reckon, guys? A nice gold one. Or a silver one. Oh, I think the gold one. Yeah, I think the gold one. That's beautiful. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Right, so we're going to go with the gold one. So I'll sew around it, then I'll have the book corner. I won't put the book corner on then sew around it because it would just my luck to sew the book corner. So, it's roughly going to be there with that in the middle. Need to keep an eye on these pages because the more we put in the signature, the more the pages will spread outwards. And I'm actually going to sew this one. I'm not going to do it as a traveller's notebook. I'm actually going to sew it in. So, pop that over there. And what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the middle page. Okay, and that there. So we need some tea-dyed papers. So let's get these out. I'm going to use these ones in this project, which is super duper cool. I've been hoarding these so badly, so badly. Ow, that's still hot. Yeah, I have been hoarding these so mega badly because these are the originals. These are the original tea-dyed papers to the ones that I made the digital kits with on Etsy. The hexagon, tea-dyed hexagon kit, all originated from these original papers. Which ones I can't particularly tell you, like exactly which ones I can't tell you, but yeah. I think as well, even though the kit's a dark one, I think we'll have a mix of dark and light, because the reason they mix dark and light is because some are tea and some are coffee, but I can't tell which is which because it was a coffee mixed in with the tea solution, so it wasn't very strong. We'll have that one. So what do we want? We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want 5 sheets. So that's ripped. We won't use that one. I don't want ripped ones. Normally it doesn't bother me, but we don't want ripped ones in this project. That's too plain. We'll use this one. Oh, I like that. All of them too. I think these are tea. They don't smell of anything. Usually when they don't smell of anything, it's tea. Because tea doesn't have a very strong... Well, tea doesn't smell of anything. Well, not the tea that I use anyway. Which is just cheap Asda tea. Oh, look at them, they're beautiful. I can't bring myself to use them, but they need to be used. I was going to put them as kits in the Etsy shop, but everybody out there is selling tea-dyed papers, so, you know, I just made mine into a digi kit instead. It's much less hassle for me. I think now we're getting on to the coffee dyed ones. So we want some of these because they're nice and grungy looking. Okay, so now we're getting to the better patterns. I'm pretty sure that's one of the kit pages. That is. I know that is because of them marks on it. I'm pretty sure this is as well. Oh my god, I love that page. I'll use that page. I love that page. That's a maybe. So that's 4. I need 1 more. That's definitely a kit page as well. And this, I think all of these were kit ones. From that to that, I think these were all kit pages, like the ones that I took out and thought, yeah, they were the best ones, so we'll do them as a kit. I think I did both sides as well, so I scanned that side and then flipped it and did the other side. Not sure, I think these are just plain. Well, no, some of these are as well. But there are some plain ones and some quite grungy ones too, so... Oh, look at this. I love that. I love that. They look burnt, and they're not. They just dried outside in the sun in the middle of a massive heat wave that we had during quarantine. I got this effect around the edges because these were tub dyed ones. And I dyed them all in the tub. And then I laid them all out on the backyard floor to dry. Oh my gosh, they're super grungy, super cool. Oh my gosh, look at that. How awesome is that one? I haven't scanned these. I might have to scan these ones. I think I'll go for that one. And actually, I think I will swap. I'll swap that pale one for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one makes 5. Okay. Wow. I've still got a lot, but I probably won't part with any more of these. Well, when I'm doing journals I will, but I probably won't part with much more of those until I do some more. It's just so hard. So hard. A hoarder's life. It's so... The struggle is real, guys. Let's pop them over there. Okay, so... fold that on that way. On the inside. I like that edging. It looks like it's been it looks like it's been distressed. Oh, so cool. So cool. Right, so that's definitely a kit page one. And so's this one. Perfect. So we've got 3 predominant ones and then 2 not so. So we'll have that one, and that one, and that one. Okay, so that page, that page. Let's have some music. No, music, kits page, that page, page. Yep. Kit page. That page. Some music. Kit page. That page. Book page. That way. Kit page. That page. Let's have another music page. It's a bit different music, but I'm not bothered. Not doing too bad for 25 minutes. Are you guys still with me, or have you bored and gone? Got bored and gone away. I love how this paper turns. I've no idea how old this music paper is. The bag that I was using, that you guys watched me use to choose the music paper from, was one that I got on eBay. I'm gonna swap that for the second page because that's going a different way. So take that music page out, swap it with this one. And then put that on there. And then we end on that one. Oh, do you know, that looks really nice with that. Oh, good choice. I really like that. Yeah, as I was saying, the bag that you saw me take the book pages out of was one that I got on eBay. I found a listing for some music papers, old vintage music papers, and that's how it came. Were it eBay or Roxy? No, it was on eBay, and that's how it came. It came with loads of different papers in it, but there's no dates on any of them, so although they're definitely vintage, you can tell with the feel of the paper, how it reacts and stuff like that when you're tearing it and that sort of thing, but I've no idea how far back the music paper dates or anything, so you know, it could be 10, 15 year old, it could be 100 year old, I have no idea. There are some books in there at the back of all the other loose sheets. There's some music books in there that I got from one of our local charity shops, and they do have the dates on. But the other stuff doesn't. Oh, really, really enjoyed that. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. That works so well together. And that makes me happy as you open the book because of it being music there and then seeing music and butterflies there. Yes. Oops. What I am going to do as well is check the time. That's okay, 3:20. We're good yet because Taylor doesn't come home till 4 o'clock. He comes home on the school bus, so he doesn't get home till 4 o'clock. He's like one of the first pickups in the morning and the last drop off at night time. So what I am going to do before I do anything else is just slice a little bit off the edges of this cover because it's a little bit rough and uneven from when I was making it last night. So I'm not measuring or anything, I'm just whipping that edge off, that's all. I love this trimmer. I've also had a few of you guys ask about the trimmer. It is by Woodware. and it's one that I got on Amazon. Like you needed to know that. It's one that I got on Amazon a few years ago. Oh my gosh, I think it was about 3 years ago now, maybe. I use it all the time. It's gone back to sitting here on the desk next to me, which if you go back to my earlier videos, you'll see that it always sat there to the side of me in videos. When I moved here, it got moved under the desk because I didn't want to put... The problem with having it here at the side of me was I was always piling it up with stuff, so I could never use it. So when I located to this desk here from the other end of the room, on the other desk that Taylor took upstairs with him, I put it back, it went just on a set of drawers under the table where I could always reach it. Could always access it and reach it. But then when I had a big clear out not long since and moved a few things around, it got located back onto the desk next to me. So, but I love it. It cuts through just about all sorts, everything. It's amazing. That's probably not very straight. No, it's not. It's proper skewy at the top, but I'm not bothered. I am not one bit bothered about that. Just straighten it up a little bit, but other than that, I am not fussed in the slightest. It just gives it a bit of character. Excuse me, gives it a bit of character. That's better. Just gets rid of that rough edge. But yeah, as we did lots of different, well, I did lots of different layers on this last night. Some of it comes away. So I will sew around the edges. Just to make sure it stays shut. Also, the first place it's going to come away is here because I used glue stick for that, and it was quite warm in here last night, so it, you know, in some places it hasn't glued down quite properly. Well, I say some places, mainly just that bit. And a little bit here, but that's the top layer actually, not the bottom. But yeah, so we'll just glue around it. I will sew around it. Pop some glue stick in there and hopefully try and glue it back down a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I will just sew around it just to secure it more. Also, it makes it look pretty, so I shall do that. And then we'll add the book corners, and then I think then we'll sew the signature in, and then we'll start working on the journal itself, adding lace and stuff. So that's it for this video, guys. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and as I said, I will sew around this probably now off camera, and then I'll get all the ephemera cut out off camera because you've seen me do that a million times. Yeah, and then I will probably leave it till tomorrow, and then I will come back because I want to do this with you guys. I don't want to turn the sound off and like speed it up and turn the sound off on this one. So I will leave it till tomorrow. I'll get this sewn off camera, I'll get the ephemera cut out off camera, and then I will leave it until tomorrow or the next time I can film. Come back and film with you guys, and then we will have sewn around the journal. So we'll get the corner book corners. I couldn't think of them then. We'll get the book corners put on. We'll get the signature sewn in because I'm not going to do a TN style. I'm actually going to sew it in. We'll get the signature sewn in, and then we will start working on the actual journal as a whole. We'll put lace on and everything. So there you go, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.